Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Lee provides evidence of Poppy's betrayal, Steffi gets her way, and Luna falls in love. The audacious step of Steffi Forrester Finnegan. According to the Bold and the Beautiful teasers for the week of January 13th, Steffi has devised a scheme to return control of Forrester Creations to her family. Daphne is being used by Steffi to separate Carter and Hope. Daphne is depending on the fact that no man can resist her, which Steffi keeps bringing up. When Steffi gets back to the workplace, she requests her job be reinstated. Carter Walton fulfills his promise, despite Hope Logan's suspicions. A sneak peek snapshot shows Carter looking extremely irritated even though Steffi gets her way. Spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful for January 13th to 17th, 2025. Additionally, Steffi's introduction of her secret weapon to Ridge Forrester is hinted at. Brooke truly supports Steffi's return, despite how she appears in a picture and the weekly preview segment. Brooke believes that having Steffi back could help her win Ridge back. Taylor Hayes and Brooke will also compete. What is the plot that you are most excited to see? Lee Finnegan's research. According to B&B spoilers for the week of January 13th, Lee may no longer be supporting Poppy. For one reason or another, Lee and Poppy have always been at odds with one another. Fans have been curious about Luna's biological father ever since Poppy was introduced. Despite the suggestion that Tom Starr was Luna's father, this is not the case. Following several arguments with Poppy, Lee makes the decision to look into it. This results in a preview image of Lee and lab technician April looking inside a medical biohazard freezer. She will be evasive while Lee looks into it. Lee is committed to getting to the core of the issue. However, Lee will be devastated and furious when she learns the truth. Lee has the weapons she needs to face Poppy before the end of the week. Lee and Poppy are battling at the hospital in the weekly preview video. Lee loses it over Jack Finnegan being Luna's biological father while Poppy sobs. B&B spoilers, the charm of Will Spencer. He will continue to conceal Luna at Bill Spencer's house. What Bill's ultimate goal with Luna is unclear. Is there something more going on, or does Bill truly believe he can repair the angelic serial killer? Luna does continue to apologize to Bill. Bill then asks Luna to go into great detail about how she killed Paul Hollister and Tom. Perhaps something isn't quite adding up for Bill because he had asked Luna this question before, on the day of her transfer. Will, meanwhile, pays his father another visit. Will expressed his sadness to Electra Forrester about Bill being alone himself in that large home. Will probably spends more time with Bill as a result. Even when she listens in on Will's private discussions, Luna will still be enchanted by him. Does Quinn's return put Carter in a lustful quadrangle? Given all the turmoil occurring at her former haunt, FC, what might happen if Quinn Fuller returned to the screen? That is what spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful suggest. In an attempt to woo Carter Walton and foil her enemy Hope Logan, Steffi Forrester has currently placed Daphne at the company. These two have taken over FC and are involved. What would happen if Quinn's volatility was added to the mix, or if another fiery dame entered the picture? She and Carter might be attracted to one another, and her presence could fundamentally alter the power play dynamic that is now in play. Spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful, Carter Walton's heart. In the past, Carter had it going on. Quinn and Daphne are both successful, but Carter is aware of Quinn's motivations because he is already tangled with her. How thrilling would it be to watch Daphne, Quinn, and Hope compete for the lustful lawyer, B&B fans? Spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful, will Quinn make a comeback? She would have to pick sides at FC if Quinn came back. If she had to choose between Carter and her ex-husband, Eric Forrester in B&B spoilers? She would have to make a difficult decision because these two used to have a lot of sex. Spoilers for the Bold and the Beautiful, will Carter Walton have to make a decision? Quinn's contentious comeback? We don't know which CEO Carter would support in her competitive secret meeting. She may be in control right away if she supports Carter, who presently holds the reins of power. On the other hand, she might be faithful to Eric and offer to work as an inside spy to assist him get back together. Spoilers for B&B, will Quinn Forrester return? Quinn's amazing vitality and enticing attractiveness made her a fan favorite when she was on air. An already explosive narrative would have even more layers of intrigue if she returned. Although many people have maintained simultaneous roles on competing soap operas, Sofer currently plays Lois Chirulo on ABC's General Hospital. Do you want Quinn to return, B&B fans? Ridge and Daphne, a world colliding. Daphne Rose and Ridge Forrester seem to clash like two opposing forces. Although charming personalities were nothing new to Ridge, the experienced patriarch of the Forrester dynasty, Daphne's enthusiasm was something completely different. Ridge was immediately drawn to her combination of ambition and mystery, which made their first meeting uncomfortable and exciting. Daphne had lately swept through Los Angeles, bringing a flair to the fashion industry that impressed, or alarmed, even the most seasoned designers. It was evident that she had planned the meeting when she eventually ran into Ridge during a board meeting for Forrester Creations. She walked confidently into the room, turning heads, including Ridge's, wearing a striking, custom-designed outfit. After exchanging pleasantries, Daphne quickly changed the subject and questioned Ridge about his plans for the business. Her voice was full of charm as she stated, "Forrester Creations has always been about elegance and tradition. However, do you not believe that it's time to push limits? To take a chance?" Intrigued yet cautious, Ridge said in a calm voice. "It is important to push boundaries, but not at the expense of the company's soul." Everyone in the room wondered whether Daphne had discovered a surprising ally or a fierce rival in Ridge as their tension flared. Luna's true father, the startling disclosure. Another bombshell was simmering in the Forrester orbit as Ridge navigated the mystery of Daphne. A developing mystery surrounding the parentage of Luna Nozawa, the young and gifted designer whose presence had caused a stir. Lee Finnegan, who always puts family first, had been surreptitiously looking into Luna's past ever since it became clear that she was connected to Finn and Steffi. She had a suspicion that Luna had close ties to the Finnegan and Forrester families and was more than simply another gifted designer. Lee discovered something that completely stopped her cold during a late-night study session, Luna's birth certificate. Jack Finnegan was named as Luna's father in the document. Lee was rocked by the discovery, which rekindled old scars from Jack's past betrayals. Equipped with this understanding, Lee had to make a tough choice. Should she use the information as leverage to defend her family, or should she go straight up to Jack? This finding was more than just a betrayal to Lee, it was ammunition, a tool she could use to make sure Jack never harmed her again. Lee's weapon, preserving Steffi and Finn. Lee's newly discovered knowledge affected her son Finn and his wife Steffi more far than just personally. Questions over Luna's motivations and her place in the Forrester family were raised when it was revealed that she was related to Jack. Lee set up a private meeting with Jack because she was determined to keep her son and daughter-in-law safe. Showing him the birth certificate, she replied, "You need to explain yourself." Taken by surprise, Jack attempted to deflect. "Lee, it's difficult." Lee angrily said, "Save it. You've told me enough falsehoods to last a lifetime. What you intend to do next is what I want to know. Because I will not tolerate Luna causing issues for Finn and Steffi." Jack, who was clearly terrified, vowed to avoid Luna, but Lee wasn't persuaded. She decided to closely monitor Jack and Luna in the upcoming weeks because she knew him too well to believe him. There is a web of lies underneath Poppy's deceit. At Forrester Creations, another storm was building while Lee battled with the consequences of Jack's secret. One of the company's rising stars in the marketing division, Poppy Sinclair, had been engaging in her own risky behavior. At Forrester Creations, Poppy had advanced through the ranks swiftly and gained the respect of important figures like Hope and Carter. However, beneath her well-maintained facade lay a web of dishonesty and deceit that was ready to come undone at any time. What's her greatest secret? In return for cash and favors, Poppy had been giving over private Forrester designs to a competing fashion label. It was a betrayal that might ruin careers and cost Forrester Creations millions. Steffi started an internal investigation after she started to notice irregularities in the business's operations. Before long, Poppy was at the end of the breadcrumb trail. Steffi presented her findings in a heated exchange in the boardroom at Forrester. "Would you mind sharing how these designs got into the hands of our rivals, Poppy?" Cornered but unyielding, Poppy attempted to refute the accusations. Her voice was shaking as she continued, "I have no idea what you're talking about." Steffi, however, didn't believe it. "Don't act foolish, Poppy. We have identified your email account as the source of the leaks. Both this business and I have been deceived by you." Forrester Creations was rocked by the aftermath from Poppy's deceit, and everyone began to question who they could trust. The dramatic intersection. The stakes at Forrester Creations had never been higher, as the plots of Ridge, Daphne, Luna, Lee, and Poppy came together. While Luna's relationship with Jack posed a danger to the stability of the Finnegan family, Ridge's developing relationship with Daphne created doubts about her genuine motivations. Lee and Jack were at odds because of Lee's steadfast efforts to keep her son and daughter-in-law safe, which could have long-term effects. Furthermore, Poppy's defection was a clear reminder that suspicions were raised about everyone, even inside Forrester Creations. The players were aware that every choice they made would have an impact on their lives, causing confusion and heartache, and that the drama was far from ended. Brooke's resolute bet, a legacy at risk. A major character on The Bold and the Beautiful for many years, Brooke Logan's life is intertwined with romantic relationships, power fights, and career victories. However, Brooke's motivation to carry out her most recent scheme goes well beyond simple retaliation or self-interest as she approaches yet another pivotal point in her path. It's about preserving her legacy, safeguarding her loved ones, and taking back control of a world that she helped create but believes is disappearing. A legacy under threat. Forrester Creations and Brooke have a very personal relationship that goes beyond their business partnership. The business has grown to be as much a part of her personality over the years as her notorious love triangle with Ridge and Taylor. But as Steffi Forrester, her aspirational stepdaughter, and the unpredictable wild card, Daphne Rose, gain more notoriety, Brooke has seen that her influence within the company is diminishing. For Brooke, carrying out her plan is about protecting a legacy that she worries might be lost if she doesn't take bold action, not merely demonstrating her relevance. In a quiet moment, Brooke told Hope, "Everyone in this family's dreams and sweat went into building this company. If I allow anyone to change that history, I will be damned. Family first, keeping RJ and Hope safe." Brooke has always been a formidable competitor in the boardroom, but her children have always been her main source of drive. After years of making a name for herself in the fashion business, Hope Logan finds herself at a turning point in both her personal and professional lives. Her younger son, RJ Forrester, is still adjusting to life in a world where his elder siblings and step-siblings rule. Brooke sees her proposal as a means of ensuring that the Forrester supremacy does not marginalize the next generation of Logans by providing possibilities for both of them. Brooke feels that by taking back her position of authority inside the organization, she can allow Hope to relaunch her fashion brand and allow RJ to pursue his artistic goals free from Steffi and Thomas's influence. In a heated exchange, Brooke told Ridge, "Hope and RJ deserve a seat at the table. And I'll fight for them if you won't." Outshining Taylor rekindled a rivalry. There is no doubting the personal stakes in Brooke's continuous competition with Taylor Hayes, despite the fact that her objectives are mostly humanitarian. For decades, the two women have been engaged in a struggle for Ridge's affections, which has only gotten more intense as Taylor has reaffirmed her independence on the personal and professional fronts. For Brooke, finishing her plan is about demonstrating to Ridge, and to herself, that she is still a formidable opponent, not simply about outwitting Steffi and Daphne. Because of Taylor's recent celebrity and her relationship with Ridge, Brooke feels more vulnerable than she has in years. Brooke thought to Katie, "The thing about Taylor is that she always thinks long-term. However, I'm one step ahead this time." Failure's personal costs. Even though Brooke has a lot of faith in her idea, she is well aware of the hazards. The consequences of her failure could be disastrous for everyone she loves as well as for herself. She can become estranged from Ridge and strain her relationship with her kids if the coup attempt at Forrester Creations fails. It can also give her opponents greater confidence, making her feel even more alone. But high-stakes wagers are nothing new to Brooke. Even when the odds seem overwhelming, she has a remarkable capacity to shift the tide in her favor and thrives under pressure. She told Donna, "If I've learned anything in this life, it's that playing it safe doesn't get you anywhere. Sometimes, in order to succeed, you must risk everything." The function of secrets in revealing the truth. Finding the secrets that her adversaries are frantically trying to conceal is a crucial part of Brooke's strategy. Whether it's Taylor's recent personal transgressions, Steffi's dubious business practices, or Daphne's dubious relationships, Brooke feels that her greatest tool is revealing the truth. Some intriguing leads have already come from her investigation. A secret goal that might cause problems for Forrester Creations was suggested by an overheard exchange between Daphne and an enigmatic associate. The situation has become even more complicated as a result of Brooke's mounting suspicions over Taylor's role in Luna's return to Los Angeles. During a strategy session with Katie and Donna, Brooke asserted that knowledge is power. "And I plan to take advantage of every bit of it right now." A thoughtful moment, the emotional cost. Brooke has moments of weakness and uncertainty despite her seeming self-assurance. She questions whether she's making the correct choice late at night when everything is quiet in the house and she feels the weight of her choices bearing down on her. Is her strategy motivated by vanity and a fear of being abandoned, or is it genuinely about preserving her family and legacy? Brooke confides in Eric in a particularly moving sequence, asking for his advice and insight. "Have you ever had the impression that the world is going on without you?" With a hint of melancholy in her voice, she inquired. Ever the wise man, Eric gave words of support. "Brooke, you've always been a fighter. And warriors never give up. Just be sure that you are fighting for the correct causes." The way forward, Brooke's last struggle. As Brooke enters the last stage of her plan, she is aware that a mix of planning, willpower, and a little bit of luck will be needed to achieve success. She is strengthening her case, mobilizing her supporters, and getting ready to take on her adversaries. Ultimately, Brooke's motivation to finish her plan comes down to one straightforward reality: she is defending her position in a world that she helped create. Brooke is committed to carrying out her plan, no matter the cost, whether it involves safeguarding her family, upholding her heritage, or regaining her authority. Because failure is not an option for Brooke Logan. Poppy's disclosure, a startling disclosure. At Forrester Creations, Poppy Sinclair had always been a mystery to her coworkers. She had quickly risen through the ranks, gaining the respect of important players like Hope and Carter thanks to her brilliant smile and unwavering work ethic. However, beyond the surface of skill and charm lay a secret that may destroy her meticulously planned existence. When Poppy ultimately made her confession, it was a frantic act of self-preservation rather than a well-considered choice. The disclosure was made during a contentious boardroom meeting after questions were raised about disparities in the business's financial reports. The investigation was led by Steffi Forrester, who had just returned to Forrester Creations and was desperate to regain her control. Addressing the room, Steffi replied in a stern voice, "Something isn't adding up. And I plan to discover what, or who, is responsible for it." Poppy found herself in a tight spot as the strain increased. Her efforts to dispel suspicion only made it stronger, and Poppy was forced to come clean when Steffi produced indisputable proof that connected her to a string of illegal activities. She said in a shaky voice, "It wasn't supposed to go this far. I believed I could make the correction before anyone saw." Poppy's admission exposed a complex network of dishonesty. As a way to pay off a personal debt, she had been offering cash incentives to a rival fashion firm in exchange for leaking proprietary designs. Her co-workers were shocked and betrayed by her betrayal, which sent shockwaves through the organization. The realization was a harsh pill for Steffi. She had trusted Poppy since she thought she was a great addition to the Forrester team. With disappointment in her voice, Steffi remarked, "You didn't just betray this company. You deceived me. For what purpose? A speedy paycheck?" Steffi's return, taking back her crown. Steffi's choice to rejoin Forrester Creations was not only a business one, it was also a personal one. She had returned from her time away from the company and a period of introspection stronger and more determined than before. She was determined to preserve the legacy her family had established and bring order back to the business. Reactions to Steffi's comeback were not entirely positive. Some saw her as a threat, while others applauded her vision and leadership. The ramifications of Steffi's return were particularly difficult on Hope Logan. The relationship between the two women had always been complex, characterized by respect and rivalry. Hope confronted Steffi after a heated confrontation in the design studio. "You went, Steffi," she remarked sharply. "And now you believe you can simply re-enter and assume control?" Steffi looked straight into Hope's eyes. "Hope, I didn't waltz back in. This organization needs capable leadership, which is why I'm here. And I'm not leaving, whether you like it or not." The conflict between them suggested more serious problems, such as unresolved emotions regarding their individual positions within the Forrester family and business. In addition to rekindling long-standing rivalries, Steffi's reappearance made everyone at Forrester Creations face their own goals and fears. Luna's secrets and uncovering family relationship. Another plotline simmered in the background while the drama surrounding Steffi's return and Poppy's confession played out. A developing mystery surrounded Luna Nozawa, the mysterious young designer who had just joined Forrester Creations. Because Luna was reluctant to talk about her past, rumors about her origins had been going about for weeks. However, the truth didn't start to come to light until Lee Finnegan discovered a piece of vital information. Tucked away in an old box of Jack Finnegan's possessions was a faded photograph of a young woman who looked much like Luna. Persuaded that the picture was the secret to Luna's identity, Lee went up to Jack. "Who is she?" Lee held up the photo and requested. "Furthermore, how is she related to Luna?" Jack's response was instructive. He fought to find the correct words as his face became white. At last, he stated, "It's complicated." Lee shot back, her patience running thin, "Try me." Lee's suspicions were validated by Jack's confession. Luna was his daughter, the product of a long-hidden affair. The Finnegan family was rocked by the news, which made them all rethink their ties with Luna and with one another. The confluence of drama. The stakes at Forrester Creations, as well as within the Forrester and Finnegan families, were at an all-time high as these plots came together. Steffi's homecoming complicated the ongoing power battles, and Poppy's betrayal threatened to undermine the corporation at a time when it could least afford it. Luna's disclosure, however, sparked debate regarding her motivations and position within the Forrester household. Did she have any hidden agendas connected to her relationship with Jack, or was she just a gifted designer trying to establish herself? Steffi became a key figure amid the confusion, and as she overcame these obstacles, her leadership was put to the test. The future of Forrester Creations and her own legacy within the family would depend on her ability to strike a balance between the personal and professional aspects of her employment. And while Steffi battled to keep the business safe, others struggled with their own problems. Lee had to decide whether to tell Luna the truth or to retain Jack's secret in order to maintain the tenuous harmony in their family. Hope struggled to find her footing since she was torn between her ambitions and her commitment to Steffi. And now that she was in the open, Poppy had to deal with the fallout from her deeds and the unknown. Nothing is ever straightforward in the world of the bold and the beautiful. The distinction between right and wrong becomes hazy, secrets are revealed, and loyalties change. One thing became evident as the characters made their way across these turbulent waters: the drama was far from over.